Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. So, we're doing a lot right now. We're building up our construction sectors, and we'll be doing more of that. We're building some industry. We're improving relations with the British. We finished out forming our Confédération du Rhin. Prussia continues to expand northward, but again, I don't really fancy their chances with that. What with us holding this block of Germany over here, because I think the point of this block of Germany is that if this tag exists, then it can't be turned into a part of Germany. I think that's what it's for, basically. Gosh, I sure would love... Actually, it would be interesting. I might be able to get a protectorate over Bavaria if I were to form myself a power block with vassalization, which I might do. Scotland and Mediterranean needs more capacity. Well, let's give this fella a promotion. Excellent. I did it. Wonderful. So at this point, I'm going to chill a bit because I want to get down on infamy so that I can start. I went very far very fast on infamy, and I don't think that was the right call. I'm improving relations with a lot of people, but I want to get some influence back, and I want to just generally be a little bit more chill for a little bit longer before going absolutely buck wild again later. Working on Laissez-Faire. Is there still insufficient Renanie du Rhône? We're building up access there, so that shouldn't be a problem. I can support more Lorraine as a market access issue. Let's subsidize these railways. These railways should always be running. So, come on, laissez-faire. You can do it, I believe in you. Rousing speech captivates the public. This afternoon, Adrien de Talleyrand-Périgord, leader of the armed forces, delivered a fiery speech advocating for the enactment of laissez-faire. Making an appearance before the public in Paris' main square, Adrien de Talleyrand-Périgord's powerful rhetoric left even his most embittered political opponents impressed. Excerpts from the speech are already being circulated across the Kingdom of France, fanning the fires of an already roaring debate. This should ease the path to reform greatly, 15% enactment chance, or performances like this reflect well on de Talleyrand-Périgord's and his cause. 10% enactment chance, but he gets stronger and the armed forces get stronger. I want the armed forces to be stronger? I think I do. So I'm going to pick that second one. 54% is a very respectable amount, especially with only a very small stall chance, so I think I'm probably fine over there with that. Vacuum canning. Wonderful. That's going to make our meatpacking industry, or our food industries, even more profitable. Stop it. You're not unprofitable. They're just pretending. They're just pretending, my nerds. We're bringing oil into the country some kind of how. Just curious. Very strong fine arts market. Let's build an arts academy in Paris. Ooh, I can build the Eiffel Tower. Let's do it. Build a big old arts academy. Hold on. Oh my goodness, the United States of America is having their Civil War. Oh my gosh, and it's a big one too. So, I definitely want the USA proper to win. I can negotiate support, but there's nothing they'd offer. The British are helping, the Prussians are likely to. Maybe I'll let it go. I have excellent relations with the USA. It should be fine. Ooh. Something going down in, Bavaria. Ooh, maybe I can get them as a protectorate. A proletarian revolt. Let's see. Let's see what I can manage. It's only me and Austria who can step in here, so this is... Sorry, United States. Are the Prussians getting in on that? Doesn't look like they are. Sorry, United States, there's business in Europe to handle. They won't accept becoming a subject. What about them? They won't either. Well, gosh dang it. Tragic. This is a proletarian revolt, and this is the government. What kind of a government is Bavaria doing? This is a labor movement revolt. We're doing an oligarchic monarchy. Well, it is what it is. Is the investment pool still increasing in size? It sure is. Let's go ahead and increase the size of the construction sector even further. Let's throw another 10 levels in here. I want 4 in Auvergne-Limousin, 4 in Guyenne, and 2 in Aquitaine. Do I want to go even more buck wild? I think I do. 2 in Languedoc, 2 in Champagne, 2 in Picardy, 2 in Lorraine, 2 in the French Low Countries. Let's get this up to 70. That's bananas. An absolutely absurd number of construction sectors. So we'll throw the arts academies at the bottom of the queue, and then we'll make it happen. And we'll see if that continues to be a good thing. No flat-out successes yet for Laissez-Faire, but we're getting close. Alright. Ah, as an ally. Very well. I will accept, of course. Of course, Bavaria, I will assist you. 6th French Army can get rolled into 3rd Corps, no problem. Which I will mobilize and move to the defense of my friend. I completely forgot I'd done that. Hehehe. Is what it is. I'm just trying to get my infamy down so that I can be more chill. We got an oil shortage, but I don't really have anything I can do about that because I don't have whaling or the pump jacks tab. Now, actually, while I'm thinking about it, we are actually a little bit low in innovation. So let's go ahead and snag... Can I build gold mines anywhere? Only Brunei. Sorry, I got distracted. Universities. Let's build more of them. I've already got one... Let me see. I got them all over the south. Let's build a level 5 one in Champagne. And a level 5 one in Picardy. And that should be just fine. Level 5 one in Burgundy. Get us some extra text spread, and that'll be nice. If I go to Laissez-Faire, I'm going to be using even less of the construction pool, and that's going to be a very, very effective... I'm going to be very good at increasing... My cash flow will be just fine, is what I'm trying to say. My cash flow will be absolutely fine. Let's put half these arts academies at the bottom of the queue so that the universities get started on, and then we'll move them back up to the top a little later. We're a little bit slower construction. Oh, because the trade unions are big mad. Popular playwright endorses reform. In the midst of the debate surrounding laissez-faire, one of the country's leading playwrights, strongly associated with the armed forces, has staged a widely acclaimed play whose politically laden theme makes no secret of the author's desire for the law to be passed. The man's viewpoints may be somewhat partisan, but, sir, you cannot argue with his prose. Laissez-faire will be on everyone's lips now, extra enactment chance. Sure puts the armed forces in a good light, extra armed forces pop attraction. Or let's ensure the play gets a wider international audience, 20 prestige. I'm just going to go with the middle one. Again, I don't think I need all that much enactment chance, and stronger armed forces is good for our government more generally. We're still kind of contested, but we're getting there. We're getting there. And under oligarchy, we are in a very good position. Obviously, the huge expansion to the construction sector that I just did makes my my cash flow not nearly as good as it was a minute ago, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. How hard are things going right now for the steel industry? Doesn't seem like they've been really impacted, which is pretty good, actually. I'm feeling very pleased about that, truth be told. Steel prices staying low under these circumstances is very, very good for me. And meanwhile, as I've said before, I'm kind of slowing down on my international adventurism just on account of my infamy is so very high, and I would like to keep it not so high. Now, Britain is pretty... I'm in a war. Let me finish the war, and then I'll talk about Britain and me. Ooh, Two Sicilies is chomping down a bunch of Italy. Alright, so Britain's pretty far ahead of me prestige-wise at this point. But here's the thing. Let's see how much of that is from Navy power projection. Almost half. And I think, with my economy being almost the size of theirs, I think I might be able to challenge them on Navy power projection. It's going to be a lot easier once I get the ironclad. I'm going to cut reinforced concrete from my list. And rotary valve engine, what does this do for me? It only unlocks... Yeah, no, I do... I'm going to leave that behind for now. I'm just going to research the ironclad straight away, and then in society, I'm going to research civilizing mission. And then after that, I'll be able to knock out some other stuff. Let's get these arts academies to the top of the queue now that the others are finished. I actually have a crazy amount of construction capacity now. I'm guessing the investment pool is not able to use all of it. And of course, we're building our Eiffel Tower, which is nice. Everyone likes the Eiffel Tower. Pay no attention to certain malcontents who live in Paris. They're just spoil sports. I am going to form a power block so that I can use all the investment rates that I've got to get other countries into my my empire, but I'm not going to do that yet. And the reason I'm waiting is because I want to get relations with Great Britain better before I do that, so that I don't wind up in a terrible relations with Great Britain situation. I'm also continuing to improve relations with the Netherlands. It feels like this is going really, really slowly. My primary motive is I want to be able to purchase Luxembourg. I don't think that's unfair or unreasonable of me. I can support more declared interests. Probably not too many more. Yeah, not too many more. Let's just do North Sea. That'll be just fine. The Great Molasses Flood. A storage tank full to the brim with molasses, intended for rum distillation, has burst, flooding the streets of Nantes Commercial Center, killing dozens and injuring hundreds of bystanders. The molasses, waist-deep, covered the streets and swirled and bubbled about the wreckage. Here and there a struggle to form. Whether it was animal or human being was impossible to tell. Only an upheaval, a thrashing about in the sticky mass, showed where any life was. Close the distilleries while the wreckage gets cleared. Reduce food industry's throughput in Brittany, or, when tragedy must not stop progress, radicalizes a bunch of pops in Brittany. I'm going to do the first one. I don't think the food industries there are that important. Hat trick. Advance. Whilst the government debates the merits of laissez-faire, several newspapers have published polemics by Odilon Volquin trying to invoke an obscure law against it. Lawyers affiliated with the petite bourgeoisie pointed out that said law is invalid. As an example of an obscure, debatably redundant law is that a hat must be worn while making a point of order. This law does not specify which hat to wear, only that it be worn and the point of order be made. Thus it would be very good form to wear a dunce cap when making an invalid point of order. Strike this useless law. Volquin gets a public faux pas, reducing his popularity and increased success chance. Or modernize this alongside laissez-faire. He becomes even happier. Even more popular and increased success chance. I'm going to modernize this alongside laissez-faire. I'm happy to have a weird utopian as part of my my country over here. I'm happy to have him be popular. So, okay, Britain is colonizing these areas. That's not ideal. They're moving into the south here, which is going to allow them to sneak in on the other side, and I don't love that. But there's not much I can do about it right now. I mean, I could start colonizing those areas. It would be very inefficient. In fact, I could snag Herrero. In fact, let's do that. We'll start colonizing areas that are heavily malarial. This is going to be really slow, obviously, but not that slow, which is interesting. Alright. Confederation of the Rhine. So that's fun. Now, I think I want to increase the size of my fleets next. So, Escadrille du Nord, I'm going to grab this guy. He's very good. I'm going to give him a promotion to Grand Admiral. And that's going to increase my capacity here. Let's do another... Let me see. 7, 2... 4, that's 13, and then we need another 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hey, I rounded out the numbers. What a hero. And then Man of Wars we'll just double the number. So we'll put 10 in Picardy, 10 in Provence. And that'll be just fine. And then for the Escadrille de la Méditerranée, we'll go up to 30 and 20. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and that'll be just fine. Let's grab both of those fleets and move them home, maybe. Ooh, gantry cranes, excellent. Let's dock them. Okay, you're already docked. Cool. That's my favorite. I love it when I don't need to do anything. How much am I paying in welfare right now? Not much. Alright, so that's very good. I'm feeling very pleased about that overall situation. We got floating harbor spreading, and I'm bashing away at Ironclad. So what do I want to do with research after this? Do I want to continue to focus on military? I think maybe yes. Let me see. Modern nursing would be very good. Repeaters to hand crank machine gun would be really good. It is 1868 now, so people are starting to be in the tier 3s. Society, I could snag... Could bash out the tier 3s, but there's a lot of tier 3s in society. If I want to get malaria prevention. That would be quite an effort. On the other hand, there's good stuff in production, but I do want to stay ahead on military, so tell you what. Technically, I have the ability to get trench works right now. Trench works, they changed up what's required, which is interesting. Or maybe they didn't. Maybe I'm just not used to the way this is structured. Let's finish out repeaters. We'll grab modern nursing, we'll grab hand crank machine gun, we'll grab military statistics. Then we'll do Genicole, and then we'll see kind of how things are looking. And that'll be a nice solid rush. We've got quite a bit of tech spread. We're getting a little bit from unspent innovation, but only a little, which is a bit of a surprise. How's incorporation going in our new states, in French Germany? It's going all right. We are starting to develop revenues from those states, which is good. Come on, Laissez-Faire. Finally. Just needed a little bit of encouragement. Low market access where? Auvergne-Limousin. Fair enough. Put that at the top of the queue. Hey, it worked. Excellent. And we're almost finished with the Eiffel Tower. Let's build one more. Just to get that going. Oh, and actually we're almost done building stuff. So what else do we need? What else would be useful for our market? Let me see. Steel could stand to be cheaper. Could stand to produce more wood. Could stand to produce more hardwood. Actually, we're importing quite a bit of hardwood. I'm not producing steam. Wait, let's start producing steamers. And that is going to make our everything's more productive. We'll just start producing them in Brittany and Normandy right now. And then we'll grab our fishing and whaling industries and make those steam powered. And we'll turn our ports into industrial ports. Oh, right. I can make our financial districts publicly traded. And that's great. Alright, now, logging camps. Where can we produce more of them? Let's take a look. Alsace-Lorraine, Brittany, Burgundy, Champagne. That should be enough. Maybe we'll build a few more in Rhône as well. That'll be nice. That'll be just fine. We are bulk trading in our trade centers. We've still got plenty of convoys. Which is fine, I suppose. Let's get all of our urban centers on gas streetlights. It's going to use a lot of coal, but we'll take a look at how coal's doing in the market, and if it's not doing well, then we'll build more coal mines, and that'll be just fine. Looks like coal's quite affordable. Darfertit Uprising. Very well. I'm going to cut my export tariffs on coal. Where is this? It's over here. Army of East Africa. Handle it. And let's start colonizing the Bangishari. Mutually beneficial. Now that we have more publicly traded companies, we should focus on what comes next. I don't see the problem. What's wrong with more money? Are you telling me that if they offered you more, you would say no? It's not about getting more money. It's about who's getting more money. The rich get richer, it would appear. This might affect our politics, stronger industrialists and trade unions, or maybe we can use this elsewhere, extra progress towards international exchange standards. Where's international exchange standards? International exchange standards is in tier 4, so that doesn't help me get to tier 4. So I'm going to say it might affect our politics. That's going to make our government even more legitimate, because it's going to make the industrialists stronger. Again, I could absolutely fire this man. But I like keeping the prestige bonus and the construction efficiency bonus from having happy industrialists, so we'll keep doing that. Two Sicilies is almost in control of all of Italy. Their attitude towards us is antagonistic. I would like to have better relations. The miracle of Saint-Domingue. Haiti has paid off its indemnity and debts in full. Per the terms of its agreement with us, it is now free of its obligation. When the Haitian indemnity was imposed in 1825, in truth, few Frenchmen expected it to be ever paid off in full. But against all odds, Haiti has achieved just that, making the final payment at the Caisse de Dépôt et Consignation in Paris earlier this afternoon. Issue an official congratulation to the Haitian government. Improves relations. Industrialists a little bit mad. That's fine. You did it, IT. I'm proud of you. Let's draft a treaty, shall we? I'd love investment rights. You'd love to give me investment rights. How about a guarantee of independence? That would be fine. Can I get anything else? Trade privileges, perhaps? I certainly can. Law commitment. Anything I can do that would be good for the country? Seems good. Anything else I can acquire? No. Certainly not a treaty port. Well, this should be fine. Trade privileges and investment rights in exchange for a guarantee of independence. That seems good. Excellent. Ooh, urbanize the Kingdom of France is completed. Winds of change. Lorraine has come a long way since our attention was first brought to it, going from small houses and scattered farmlands to being on its way to becoming a blooming metropolis. The woman sighs. Her old hand stopped crocheting for a second. When I was younger, all this was farmland. Us kids would just play freely in the fields, not having to worry about getting hit by a cart or those criminals coming to get us. And we still had time to work. Well, Grandma, now people have even more places to work at. Finally, the rain shines like never before. Extra loyalists from political movements, or, this is not the end, extra urban center throughput in Lorraine. I'm going to pick the first one. I always do this. Urban center throughput doesn't seem valuable to me under most circumstances. Let's see. I think I'm going to increase the size of the first corps. I got some lancers, and I don't need that many lancers. I need more artillery is what I need. And it's not close. Where else are we not properly rounded off? Savoy. So that'll be fine. 30, 25, 10. Let's go ahead and add in another 10 infantry units just to make things rock solid. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 arms. I'm getting these indicators in other countries. I can't build in other countries. 5. That'll be just fine. I'm a little bit short on bureaucracy once again. Nowhere I've got unrealized taxes. Let's take another run at government admin. Let's see. Normandy, Rhône, Auvergne-Limousin, Poitou-Saintonge. That's the war finished. Burgundy. Champagne. And everywhere else is looking good. I'm going to throw those at the top of the queue, as I've always been doing. Could have done it from the other direction, but I didn't feel like doing it. And let's go ahead and rename this the 1st Field Army. Because this is our main army. This army, let's kind of round out our numbers here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Infantry, and then we need 5, really 10 more artillery. So that should be fine. 30, 15, 10. Let's round out the number of infantry. Just bring it up to 35 just to make sure we don't get a weird thing going on here. So I need 6 more. 1, 2, 3. Right, that rounds out them. I need 3 more. Where am I in uneven numbers? Where am I in uneven numbers? Gosh darn it. Gosh darn it. Maybe this is just me being retentive. But, you know, I'm a little retentive. And then this army will round out as well. And we're good on... we could use another 5 artillery. We'll build those in Brittany. And that'll be just fine. Army of East Africa is looking good. Army of Africa could use some more artillery. And in fact, it's about time we started building up the North African departments. What does population look like in these areas? We still don't really have hardly any French people living in these areas, and I don't really know what to do about that. I don't think there's really a way to do that effectively. At least if it is, maybe I'll if there's a way to build up French populations in these areas, put it in the comments. That's what we'll do. I'm going to probably conquer Morocco at some point, because I've got claims on a bunch of those states. And as we build up our navies and our armies, hopefully this will lead to an increase in our prestige, which it's slowly doing, which will eventually allow us to eclipse the British, our friends to the north. Relations are pretty good with them. We're repairing relations with the Netherlands and with Kaffa, which is interesting. Can we make you a protectorate? It's 21 infamy, but I could make that happen. I have the capacity. I could build a strong Ethiopia down here, if I wished, and I do wish. How's the investment pool? Investment pool is still doing rock solid. So I don't think I need to increase... I could increase the size of the construction sector, however. Maybe by just a little bit more. Maybe just a bit more construction. Just the tiniest bit. There's none in Brittany. We'll build up Brittany some. Some people say I should leave Brittany alone, but I disagree. A little bit in Guyenne, a little bit more in Guyenne, a little bit in Aquitaine, and a little bit in Languedoc. And that'll be just fine. That'll get us up to 80. And I'm perfectly willing to be in the red on this because I'm about to go to Laissez-Faire. Let's see if I go to Laissez-Faire right now, because I'm actually very close. Civil War in Anhalt. That might spell opportunity for France. We'll see. We shall see. Probably after this, if I get it here, I'll probably close out the episode shortly thereafter. Because I am sort of running up against our usual time for finishing episodes. Improve relations broken with IT because we're maxed out. Discord within the petite bourgeoisie, an advance event. An influential faction within the petite bourgeoisie has grown frustrated with their co-members' neutrality on the topic of laissez-faire. Themselves in favor of the law, they've now resolved to form a separate political faction intent on passing it. How can you all stand idly by and watch the world pass before your eyes? Have you no sense of honor, of duty to your fellow man? I say nay to such lack of ambition, and I dare say I am not alone in this. With their support, the bill shall pass. Extra enactment chance, weaker petite bourgeoisie, or the industrialists extend an open hand to these mavericks. Stronger industrialists, weaker petite bourgeoisie, and extra enactment chance, but not as much as the first option. I'm going to go with the second. Making my industrialists stronger is good. I think I really want to get rid of this guy. I don't like him. I can't do it because he's part of the government. Nah. Nah. Can I get a better industrialist through my agitators? Doesn't appear so. But a lot of my agitators are old. So here's hoping one of them passes away and I can get somebody better. Because the thing I don't want is to get the industrialists petitioning my government to do voting. I worked very hard to get rid of voting. Gosh dang it. Let me see. August 22nd. I don't want to wait until then. Alright. That is the end of the episode, my nerds. I have had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I will see you on the other side.